can't hear you now. I can't hear you at all now, Fred.
And you can hear me.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
You can hear
there
me.
you go.
Can hear me.
What's up?
We left on Friday, and we were having like a good time, good show, good fun, whatever. I realized I had radically misnumbered the shows or whatever. I leave for the weekend, and it turns out like Haitians are destroying all pets and public animals and ducks, geese. They're like locusts. They're coming in and it's just, they're eating everything.
I don't think I could do that very good. Hang on. Let's see if I can do it.
Vote for Trump.
That's pretty good.
For Trump.
You know, you don't sound like Donald Duck. You sound like that little. What was that? What was that little?
It was on Tom and Jerry. It was the little duck on Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
Yes, I've known that for years. I listen. It sounds different in my head, but I listened to recordings years ago of.
Hey, hi, JJ.
I mean, it sounds just like that one.
Yeah. What you doing?
Let me tell you, I've been doing the duck voice for like 40 years. I've been doing it since I was a kid. And let me tell you how many girls loved that voice back in the day when I was talking, back when I was in high school and whatnot, talking to girls on the phone. I'd be like, and they'd be like,
shuts the door. Oh, really? They really liked it?
Oh, do the duck voice. That's what I used to do. The duck voice.
No.
It sounds like a direct ticket to friend zone, though.
Yeah, well, yes, you're exactly 1 billion % correct. Johnny, what do we got for the big grand prize winner here?
His name was Quacker. That duck name was Quacker. Yeah,
Quacker.
Grok told me.
Oh, yeah. Drop.
I can't do certain words like G.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay,
Or do certain letters.
Deacon and I were talking before the show. I've had a bad weekend, and you don't always have a good weekend. And it's nothing happened that was bad, but let me stay on topic, but shift gears a little bit. I cannot explain for what reason YouTube is populating my commercials with BetterHelp and Therapy Now. I can't stand these people. Every time they talk, I'm like, you suck. And then I have like a bad day, and I'm like,
I don't pay attention to the ads. I don't know which ones.
God. It only gets on my nerves because it's so annoying. Because you have all these people that, I mean, and these whoever's running these ads for these therapy channel, like I don't think you can get therapy on the phone from an app. That isn't real. I don't think so.
There's AI therapists. There's like
really
AIs that you can talk to and tell your problems to and whatnot. But I would just like to let anyone know that does that. It's like, oh, this is my personal diary. You are educating an artificial intelligence.
You are the training material. Hey, if I say this, what is he going to do? Oh, boy. All right, so let's talk about
we have any AI stories today.
We had some stuff in the thing from yesterday, I guess. I don't know. We have some interesting stories. There's some interesting stories, but first we have this. Influx of Haitian migrants sparks frustration and safety concerns in Ohio town. A local man says Haitians are decapitating ducks in the park and taking them home to eat. And this is not the only kind of story like this. I saw a photo of a Haitian carrying a dead goose down the street. I don't know if you saw that on X. And I saw more than one video claiming, but I don't know if we believe this? I don't know if we believe it, that Haitian migrants have set up camp and are barbecuing people's pets on wherever they can, including on their driveway.
So is this
what's going on?
Malicious, or is it a product of incorporating very rapidly two very different societies at two very different levels? Because the Haitian society, if they're so hungry that they go and find geese and stuff and cats and dogs and just kill and eat, then you come from a different society than we do over here. And if you are going to rapidly incorporate into our society, we're not doing that. You kill my dog, that is the member of my family. That is a member of my family.
Right. Yeah. Now, legally, that is
Plus, little buddy is little,
is your
have a lot of
property.
meat, and he's stringy, so leave him alone.
yeah. Legally, that dog is your property, and
Mhm.
depending on the state that you live in, you have the right to defend yourself, your
There's
others,
a-
and your property.
There's a Hawaiian word. A word for pet owner. They don't have a word for pet owner. It's kahu. A kahu is a Hawaiian word for pet owner, kahu, but it has many meanings. It don't really mean pet owner. It means guardian, protector, master, caretaker, warden. So they call, like, you're the pet's kahu. You're its guardian, your protector.
Right. I mean, you're definitely onto something with this, having two radically different societies that
Yeah, so
are.
I mean, of course, you're probably going to have some that are doing it, but is it more of a, for lack of a better word, misunderstanding? Is it these people that have come from this society where they had to find food this way, and they see food and they're that way because they've lived that way for 30 years, and now they're over here and they don't realize that, hey man, we can Walmart.
I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but 2 months ago, we were doing stories about the government of Haiti had fallen, and Barbecue, one of the criminals that took over the country, was known for cannibalism. So, eating cats and dogs is not the worst thing that's come out of Haiti. It really isn't. And and these people, I don't know if they're fleeing from a fallen Haiti or taking advantage of the fact that we have clearly an open import system here.
Ashley says that I did not lead with the duck voice when we met. I know it was because of my beautiful bass baritone voice is what got her hooked.
Yeah.
So I actually have been to Haiti numerous times.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Educate us then.
I want to
please.
know, first of all, what does dog taste like?
Gross.
Well, we never had dog. I think this is
that you know.
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is probably extreme isms on the Haitian spectrum. I don't think this is the norm. This, at least that was my experience. And I've been to Haiti 3 or 4 times. And not in like, I mean, we obviously you're going to land in Port-au-Prince. We spent a lot of time in.
That's a good point, Brian.
Yes.
Pet eaters are just ethically responsible cannibals. Okay, I'm sorry, Dave. Please.
Yeah. No.
That was
And
Deacon that did that, not me.
there were, there was 1 or 2 individuals that we knew that they did some shady stuff in the way they ate. At least stuff we would say is shady, but they were really fringe. It wasn't the normal everyday person. Now, the last time I went to Haiti was probably 10 years ago, and I know that the country destabilized since then. So who knows what that destabilization
You know what?
has brought people
You're
to.
right. You cannot paint an entire group of people based on a couple of bad apples.
We
And
say
maybe
that
there's just
all the
one.
time.
Maybe there's just one guy, and he's making all the Haitians look bad. That's possible, and it could be this guy that's eating this, that's carrying this goose down the street. It could be that guy. Or it might have been this lady that was that walked up to a lady's house and stomped on her cat's head and then started eating the cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it could. I mean, what I'm saying is you can't paint all of these people based on one bad apple.
Now, where
Or
are
two.
we going to put all these people since we already have an overcrowded prison system?
Springfield, Ohio. Or how about this? Let's redirect them to Aurora, Colorado. We already have the Venezuelan gang set up there. Maybe we just start a little turf
There
war.
used to be a giant island that Britain used to send all these people to. We don't have that anymore.
Why don't we just send them home? Why don't you guys go home? Yeah. Yes. Here, I'm checking your passport. We did allow you in. You ate a couple of pets. You're going home. So, Dave, did you notice the strong ritualistic influence on Haitians, or is that
100%.
fringe too?
100%. That it was all like I know voodoo gets thrown around a lot. It would be individuals who would be connected with voodoo. One of the craziest things was seeing their cemeteries. They will have the vaults above ground,
Mhm.
and they have chains over them. They
Mhm.
legit have chains wrapped over their vaults.
Why do they have them above ground in Haiti? Is it because of the sea level, like down in Louisiana?
I'm assuming it's the sea level issue.
Okay, that's okay. We've lost
I don't know
his
what he's saying.
audio again.
Where'd your
It's
audio
because
go?
I didn't want to say that where you could
Oh,
hear it.
okay.
I scrolled too far on X.
Don't scroll too
closing
far on
that.
X. Yeah,
And that's not good.
don't do that.
So,
Yeah, the folks that don't know, they just think voodoo was like something. No, there's
There's some crazy
straight
dark.
up people that
evil
there
stuff
is,
there.
man. Straight up. You don't mess with that.
is it evil? Evil.
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
That kind of influence?
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it an
It's
intrinsic
evil.
human? Hold on. Is it an intrinsic human fault that just gets exercised, or is it an extrinsic evil entity that influences people?
Yes,
Inquiring minds want to know.
yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
a combination of the two.
Mix,
I mean, you have
absolutely.
perfect storm there. Perfect storm there.
All right. So sometimes I say that we get to solve the world's problems or America's problems on the air. What do we do
All
about
right.
this? If you could do anything, you have a gavel or something like that. What are you doing? How do we solve this problem?
In the
Probably
immortal
sending
words,
somebody home.
in the immortal words of my friend JJW, go home.
Okay. Well, that might be dangerous for some people. Are we Let me ask you this question.
I know
Let's say we have a bunch of Haitians here that were allowed in, and we decide y'all can't stay here. You got to go home. But the reason that they're here is because Haiti is completely fallen and corrupt, and they may very well be in danger if they leave, just because Haiti is not a safe place. Are we now responsible if we send them back to Haiti? Are we morally responsible for sending people back to where they literally came from? Oh,
That's a
Dave
tough
thinks
one.
so. Kind of looks like he
I-
thinks
I-
so.
We have to send them to Haiti.
You can't just take people and send them wherever you want. I don't know if you know this or not, but we
have
did that
you
a few
not
hundred years
seen-
ago. That was wrong.
I disagree with you there. That happens all the time
It
here.
happens all the time here. Yeah.
We're
That's-
just talking about controlled human trafficking now.
Right. Well, that's what you're right. So we have trafficked in a bunch
Oh,
of people.
I think the most positive course of action.
We necessarily have trafficked in. We've allowed.
This is the policy of the United States government is to literally let in like 150,000 Haitians.
That's not trafficking them in. Going down there, picking them up, and bringing them here is trafficking them in.
That's how we did it. We flew them in.
Well, I think we flew a bunch of them in from all over the place. Absolutely. Yeah.
We might have.
I'm just asking, are we morally responsible?
I want to say no, but
I wish
think-
I could say no.
I think the best positive action would be to try to weed out the troublemakers. And there are, I'm sure, some, if not most, or some, well, let's just say half of them, which I'm hoping that it's a lot more, want to better their lives. And they've come here to try to better their lives. And maybe their society was completely different than ours. And they don't realize that we have so much food here in America that we throw it away every night. Every fast food restaurant around you
There's
throws
garbage
away
cans
people
full of
every
food.
single night. You wouldn't believe how many pizzas get thrown away from one fast food pizza place every night. You wouldn't believe it. Crazy. So they don't understand that we've got so much food here in America that we just throw it away. We just throw it away.
I mean,
You don't have to kill our pets, and you don't have to do this. If you want a goose, go to Whole Foods.
I don't know. I mean, if you want a goose, come up here to where like a couple of offices are in the Louisville St. Matthews area. There's geese just running around all over the place. They're a nuisance.
Yeah, but
Take 'em.
there's
I don't care.
areas in this country. Come to Kentucky. Deer season is fixing to come up. Please, please.
Yeah, you can.
Everywhere.
You can, if you want wild game, you can hunt wild
You
game
can
legally.
do it legally.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just like walk out to the park and start killing whatever
Don't-
animals you
Don't
find.
kill,
You're
yeah, don't
supposed-
kill cats, and
There-
we don't eat cats and dogs over here, man.
yeah.
So there
that's
might
not-
also be
that's not a
some
thing.
drugs involved in some of these situations as well.
You're right. And that's what I'm saying. That maybe this is a couple of bad actors. I mean, that doesn't explain the guy that I saw barbecuing a dog in his kitchen, but okay, but it might be. I mean, all right.
I know this is one of those out of sight,
Smack-
out of
I mean,
mind things that-
Yeah. Smash says we have a moral obligation to sustain our and our children's lives too.
Yeah, 100%.
that's number one.
But we have voluntarily taken on the responsibility of millions of people from around the world with no supervision. It's
Yep.
crazy. Now, I want to ask Dave, what is permissible in defending your property if you find yourself in a situation where a miscreant, drug-addled Haitian trying to eat your dog? Like, what can you do? Like, what?
Dude, first of all, my
What-
dog is 100 pounds, and my dog's going to defend himself.
We'll talk about
most
talk
of the
about
Haitians
Deacon's dog.
I know will
We can-
become a chew toy real quick. Now,
You don't want to mess with little buddy.
yeah.
Look at that.
So
You don't want to mess with him.
I would probably, what I would do, I would call law enforcement, and then I would take a weapon outside. I'm not saying I'm using it, but there will be a threat.
Okay,
The weapon might not be
bro.
loaded,
If
or it
you
might
if you
be
find
loaded.
yourself in this situation, it's because the Haitian has found an opportunity to get at your dog or your cat. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're right there. You got to be. I mean, like. There's a saying, when seconds count, police are only minutes away. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
So the chief in town lives right next door to me.
Well, Dave's
But
not
we
worried
had this happen. This happened to me Friday. My dog, he is a big dog. He's a mix of a bunch. He's a super mutt. And
mutts.
I'm out throwing ball with him. And he loves his little squeaky ball. He has a tendency to run at people that might be walking down the street. Now we live on a dead end street, or almost a dead end street. And people do walk, and there was a couple of ladies doing price quotes for siding and stuff in the neighborhood, and they were walking by, and Ace saw him, and he bolted at him, and he's part pit bull. That's the largest part of
No
him,
chance
24%.
Yeah.
So
And he just wanted to play, but he looks mean.
he's running at him, and they're like, "Is he safe? Is he safe? Is he safe?"
Yeah.
I'm scared because I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he's never bit anyone, and he's 5. And I'm like, he's safe. I've got his ball. I squeak it. I say, Ace, stop, sit. I don't have to yell at him. He did it.
Yeah.
He did it. I was so proud of him.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you are.
Hey, I'm
And I
trying to
called
put
him
some
back.
body-
I called him back, and I told him to sit and wait, and he did it. Now I went over and told the ladies, I'm like, give me just a couple minutes, put the dog up, and we'll talk. And they were so proud of the way the dog acted and everything. And I was.
I mean,
too.
I'm
So
glad
like, oh.
it worked out in your favor that way. I saw a video like last week, and it made me so mad. Where a woman and her kids were in the yard, and they were playing with their dog or whatever, and they had a no fence yard or something like that. And a cop like was walking the street or got out of his car or something, and the dog went into protector mode and was running up and barking, and the cop killed the dog in front of the kids and the mom. And it was
There's some horrific stuff going on, even in
just
our
awful.
in our area here. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, there was a dog that was in a yard. A guy drove by on a golf cart and shot a pellet at the dog. It went into the dog's lung. The dog was able to recover, but this was here locally. And luckily, everybody's got a freaking camera on their house. If you're coming to Western Kentucky, let me let you in a little secret. everybody's got a camera on their property. Everybody. So they were able to get
That's how you keep your trailers and your boats.
That's right. That's how you keep your trailers and your boats. That's exactly right. And then recently there was one that this guy come up to this house here in the area, took this pug, and when the pug was released by this guy, its eyeballs were no longer.
Oh my God.
And so they had to take the dog to the vet and get them removed. And they have cameras and pictures of this guy. There's no puncture wounds. It's not like this dog was used as a bait dog for fighting or anything. It's like, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with people?
Every human is capable of intense evil.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that.
And like everyone, every single person. And not sure always what keeps us from doing evil things, but like I don't I don't believe that anybody is good. So we are in this, we make these choices, and most of the time, is it true that the things that keep us from doing evil things and acting on evil impulses is just perhaps a fear of reprisal of some kind, be it legal or,
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe for some people, but that's not for me. It might have been for certain things, but that's not why I do nice things.
Yeah.
It's not why I don't want to do.
Yeah, but you can get pushed into a red hot, you can get provoked and
Falling
pushed
down?
into a point where you're
absolutely.
no longer,
But those, I'm trying to look at those now as tests of my will. If the guy is really annoying me, well, I have very little patience. And this is a test of my patience. And if I want to truly be a better person and improve myself and grow,
right,
then I am not going to let this annoyance, let this guy make me mad and control me. Let this woman over here at the store control the next 45 minutes of my thought process.
Okay, I'm gonna move us along. We're gonna have to pick up the pace here. You had a story in here about Thomas Massey.
Do you want to play that? I've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I got it. Sure.
We've got a little contest going on, so I might have to do a little thing here.
All right.
In a minute. So
I'll play that.
This one's interesting, and he is from Dave and I State. He's from the 4th District, which is up in the northern part of Kentucky.
All right, I'm gonna turn the volume up here.
On Mr. Massey.
Can we be honest with the American people about what's going on here? This is political theater. I'm going to call out both sides right here. It's all posturing. It's fake fighting. We all know where it ends up. This is Groundhog Day. I don't care if the Democrat is the speaker or Republican is the speaker. We always get a CR in September, and then we get an omnibus. Sometimes there's a twist on that. We might get the omnibus before Christmas, but if we're not good, it comes after Christmas. But that's what's going to happen. And in the meantime, it's political theater. We've got it's good theater. We've got great writers. I wish they'd just come up with a new plot. It's the same plot every fiscal year. What should we be doing? It's already been discussed. We should have done 12 separate bills.
Yes.
We should have done 12 separate bills. But again, whether Democrats are in control or Republicans are in control, we never do the 12 separate bills. Why do we always spend at least as much as we did last year, and why do we never cut spending? It's because Democrats want to grow the welfare state and Republicans want to grow the military industrial complex.
Yep.
And we're eventually going to get together and they're both going to go up. I guarantee it. And both parties are just fine letting the bureaucrats do their thing, which should be our thing according to Article 1. Section 8 in the Constitution. We are empowered with these things. Most important of the things we do is the funding, and that's the big lever we have. I've sat through now almost 2 years of hearings in this Congress where we've exposed lies at the CDC, shortcuts at the FDA, unconstitutional gun bans at the ATF, over prosecution of January 6ers at the DOJ, targeting common citizens at the FBI, spying by the NSA, illegal mandates for livestock by the USDA, targeting plant vaccine or transgenic plant vaccine at the NSF, and censorship, the censorship industrial complex of which the NSF is part of, automobile kill switch at the DOT. Now, these are all things I think most Democrats are just fine with, this kind of totalitarian state that the bureaucrats are pushing on us. But Republicans at least pretend to be against these things. But what are we going to do this September? We're going to fund every freaking one of those things that we have exposed. That is the tool that we have, is the funding. Why are we funding things we don't like? We don't have to. Well, it's because we're addicted to spending. And this doesn't do anything about the addiction at all. So let me touch on one point too here that I think is important. Is, a couple years ago, or a summer and a half ago, I suppose now, we did something where we allowed the debt limit to be increased. But as a condition of that, we said if you do a CR that lasts past April 30th, everything's going to get cut 1%. And that, to me, seemed like at least a little tinge of fiscal responsibility was creeping in. But now I notice that this CR, instead of going 1 year and giving us time to do the 12 appropriations bills, is going to go 6 months. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen because this goes 6 months. Number one, it ends in March 28th, on March 28th. Well, the automatic cuts happen on April 30th if the CR went past that. So that is exactly why the speaker chose a 6-month CR, is so we don't have even the chance, a threat to this town. It's a threat of a 1% cut. We don't want to even, this is like T-ball. The 1% cut is on the tee and Republicans won't even swing at it. So instead, we're going to do a 6-month CR instead of a 1-year CR. That sets up another crisis next spring where we can do another pretend fight sometime around March. And that fight it'll be the same fight regardless of who wins the presidency and who's in charge of the Senate and the House. And we're basically going to get pretty much the same result. But that's 6 months from now. In the meantime, we can kick the can down the road. All of these things that we've exposed and all of these hearings are going to continue to get funded. But wait, there's a bright, shiny object on this CR. I've never seen one of these. I have never seen a bright, shiny object attached to one of these must-pass bills. Oh, wait, no. It actually happens. There always is a bright, shiny object, a bauble, if you will. A little something to get excited about. This SAVE Act. It's going to save us all, right? And by the way, this is good political theater. I do
He's
like
talking
this
about
part of it, that we're going to see almost every
voting election
Democrat
system, secure
cast a
voting election
vote
system.
so that illegals can vote in our elections. I mean, that's pretty clever on the part of our speaker to set that up. Maybe I'll take that vote. But here's what he's going to do after you take that vote. He's going to take it off. The bright, shiny object goes away. It's Lucy and the football again. And the American public is all revved up. Yeah, we're going to get to save it. We're going to save these elections. We're going to stop the illegals from voting. Really? How are you going to do that in like 6 weeks? I think they're already registered if they're going to vote. Some of them probably already voted. This SAVE Act ain't going to save anything.
That's right.
And particularly because it ain't ever going to become law. It's a false promise to get all the Republicans half pregnant. And then you're going to get fully pregnant by the end of September when you vote for this CR. That is not going to have this. I mean, I hate to break this to you. I mean, the Democrats already know this. I'm not telling you anything special. I hate to break it to the Republicans. You ain't getting the SAVE Act. It is not going to stay on this bill. Why? Because we're going to cave. We're going to cave. Is it a fight worth having? Absolutely, it's a fight worth having. Make those Democrats say they want illegals to vote. Make them take that vote as many times as you can. And then make them go to the ballot box in November. But that's what it is. It's political theater, folks. We all know where it ends up. We've seen it. I've been here 12 years. I've seen it 12 times. I refuse to be a thespian in this failure theater. And with that, I yield back.
Wow. Lit them up.
Between Thomas and James, man, I'm kind of proud of some of our Kentuckians.
I mean,
Me and Ashley watched a thing last night. I think it was a dude on the Joe Rogan show. This is completely off topic. This is the dude on the Joe Rogan show that was talking about, they said something about, they were talking about Kentucky. And the dude was saying that if you look at all of the medals that were won in the Olympics by Kentuckians, that it almost rivaled some countries. And then they started talking about all the athletes, all the great athletes and stuff that have come from Kentucky. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Because we're awesome.
yeah.
Well, anyway,
Go Kentucky.
Thomas Massey is from the 4th District of Kentucky, and that is up north near Ohio and over. I think it probably touches West Virginia over there too.
I feel like
Thomas
I've
Massey is
actually got
one
to meet
of.
him before.
Go ahead.
I feel like I've got to meet him before and chat with him at a conference.
Oh, really?
It was not a political conference at all. He was an attendee, but I'll have to double check that. I was trying to verify that while we were talking, while I was listening.
There's probably like 10 people in Congress that are honest, and there's obviously hundreds that are crooks. He's one of the 10 that are, honest. And he's right. Like, it's so frustrating because every single year he's right. We pass an omnibus bill. And you don't get to choose what's in it. I mean, we could, in an ideal world, we would vote independently on every issue. Like, oh, do we want to have like new planes for the Air Force? Okay, let's put that in a bill and vote on that. Yes or no? How are we going to pay for it?
Yeah, right.
We don't do any of that.
That doesn't happen in the real world.
Okay. Oh, we can't do that many bills. We have to consolidate them, make it a little more efficient. Okay, let's put all the military bills in one bill. We still can do different bills for different subjects, right? Nope. Can't get it. You can't get enough to pass them, or you can't.
Right. That's the problem. If we're voting on airplanes, and I need X amount of people over here on this side, but they want funding for hog farms.
Right.
I have to add hog farms into my airplane bill.
You're right.
In order to secure funding. It's just
you're making
this.
trades to get what you want,
common
but you
knowledge.
keep giving away. We have given away so much of our leverage. You have none left. And the
Yeah, it's
people that
gotten
have all of the
so
leverage are in
bad.
Washington, D.C.
I told a buddy of mine from Canada one time when he was talking, he'd never been to America. And I said, man, let me just tell you this. America was founded on some unbelievably awesome principles. The foundation of America is unbelievably awesome. But since before the ink was dry, there was some bitch somewhere trying to figure out how to screw the system. And they have perfected that shit for 270 something years now. They have perfected it. It's not that the system is bad. The foundation is solid. The foundation is concrete, Roman, solid. It's a great foundation, but the walls are crappy wood, and the
threat from the beginning was political faction, and they couldn't solve for that. And they thought that they had. But as soon as the ink was dry, even the people that were like, we can't have these political factions, it'll be the downfall of America. They started making political parties.
Yeah, I'm not saying all of them, but there was somebody somewhere. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Jefferson. I'm pretty sure it's Thomas Jefferson.
Right, all of them.
All right, let's do some fun stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. We got some fun
stuff. I like fun stuff. Take my dog to later.
You have some fun stuff?
I like fun stuff.
Oh, Dave likes fun stuff.
All right.
I have a fun story here for you, Dave. So do you guys like archaeology? That's something that's always fascinated me. It's probably because of Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Yep.
I mean, look, we grew up with Indiana Jones, both of the movies, or all three of them.
There's 5, but okay.
No. Nope.
There was a fun series, Young Indiana.
Young Indiana Joneses are great. Wasn't River Phoenix in those?
Yeah, it was River Phoenix.
Was River Phoenix, or was he young Indiana Jones in the movie?
Ooh, good question. I don't.
I think he
remember.
was in the movie. I think he was young Indiana in the movie.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he wasn't in the series. I'm seeing the cover now in my head. No.
yeah,
Go ahead.
archaeology is not like Indiana Jones at all. It's a lot of like just sitting there with a brush and meticulously brushing off an area for weeks and weeks and weeks
While sweating intensely in the dirt.
in the
And
dirt.
getting bit.
and getting
bit.
bits, and it's
Yeah.
not like Indiana Jones at all. So they ask for help sometimes. All right. So
Oh,
this amateur archaeologist went out to help in. They were in a Scottish shore. Okay, and they were trying to find some ruins of the I can't remember their names now. Let me look down here. It's the Pictish, the Pictish kingdom. The Picts were a group of people that lived there around 500 to 1,000, and they were picked. It was like Latin for painted, is what the Romans called them. So I guess they painted themselves up, but they were fierce warriors for about 500 years, and they basically founded Scotland. They kept the Gaels or somebody out of Scotland, but then they were completely like, incorporated into another society like 1,000 years later. And this is where we have, so they're investigating these ruins and whatnot. And this guy goes out to help. And this guy is just an amateur archaeologist. He's helped 2 or 3 times. His sister lived in that town, so he went up there to help. And he's got he's a shiny pebble gem aficionado type guy. So he's digging through, he's finding shiny stuff and whatnot. And he finds this. It is not that.
That's the wrong page.
That's the
Yeah, I'll
wrong
fix
page.
it.
Oh, here, let me move it.
Yeah.
There we go. He
got
found
it.
this. This is, that's not it. This is the actual ring that he found while he was digging up. And this ring is very unique. There hasn't been very much jewelry found from this empire, from this Pict kingdom. But this ring is made out of some sort of, it's got like garnet placements in it and whatnot. And it was shiny, and they think it's over more than 1,000 years old. It was a remarkable discovery for the Pictish kingdom in rings and stuff like that. So that one came up, and I thought, man, that's funny. They found 1,000-year-old ring, and you've got this picture
Do
right
not
here.
mess with rings you find in
That's
riverbeds,
what I
people.
was thinking. I was like, oh my
Goodness.
God, this is Sauron.
Yes.
Don't just put on rings that you find in the ground.
Precious.
Oh,
Precious.
Some things that were meant to be
Okay.
hidden.
Yeah, the Picts
Profound.
were called Picti by the Romans. The Latin for painted ones were the northern tribes who made up the largest kingdom in the Dark Age of Scotland. Noteworthy warriors. The Picts had lost against the I don't know who right here, the North Umbrian Angle invaders.
Northumbrian.
Northumbrian. Scotland might have never existed. However, in spite of their military might, the Picts would disappear from history by the end of the first millennium, swallowed and whole by the Gaels. Yeah, they were incorporated by the Gaels.
They were always so good at invading. They never came at you straight on.
I missed that joke. I missed that one. So there you go. What do you think about that? Would you just put on if you were digging through the ground and you found a shiny ring, would you want to Frodo it and put it on to see if you turned invisible?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I'm going to tell you, it's very sad. I may have, if I found a ring that looked like that in the dirt, I would be like, oh, this piece of junk. And I'd probably throw it away, or maybe try to clean it up. And I'd be like, this thing's trash.
It's
It
not
would
real.
not matter to me that it's 1,000 years old. Okay, so you guys saw my story here. I thought this was kind of neat. 3 sisters inherited a dime, and they kept it in the bank for 40 years.
Okay.
And it's now it could be worth more than $500,000. That's how bad inflation is.
How bad inflation is. Right.
Yeah, so they found this. They inherited a dime from 1975 from the U.S. Mint in San Francisco. And the thing about this dime, which it's hard to see, but we'll have a looky-loo at it. Look at this here. It's got a serial number and everything. If you look at this dime, I can't zoom in any more than that. There's a little S. There's a little S on there. Or maybe it doesn't have the S. I don't know. It's from a print set. Let me go back.
Yeah, I don't think it has the S. It says no S at the top.
Oh, no S. No S. Yeah. So it doesn't have the S from a print set. So I think it's either a defect or a mistake.
Proof set.
And the Mint in San Francisco made 2,000 uncirculated proof sets that featured 6 coins and were sold for $7. Collectors a few years later found that 2 dimes from the set were missing the mint mark. So they all shared with Russell, their brother and mother, in 1978, bought the first error coin for $18,200, which would amount to about $90,000 today. And then it was passed down, I guess, and they inherited it. The coin, known as the 1975 No S proof dime, will be displayed at a coin show in Wednesday in Tampa, Florida. So congratulations to them. Now, I believe that these...
If you scroll that number right there, that PR67, I think they only go to PR68 or PR70. That's just how the quality of it. And I forget if it's 68 or 70 is the top number on the highest quality you can get. And the only reason I know this is the last several weeks I had these 3 nickels from 64. And apparently they're worth about a nickel. But one of them didn't have the mint mark on it. And so I'm doing all kinds of research. The other 2 did. And it's ridiculous, the number of variants and errors that are out there and what they do to the value of those nickels. But if you have something from 63 and before, they are definitely worth more than a nickel.
So that this rare coin, this people that own this are bought by an Ohio farm family. So that family is a farm family.
Yeah, they bet they've got a few less geese and cats on their farm.
He wins the day. He wins the day. Thank you for hanging out.
I was
kind
of hoping he would have like a dime bag joke in there somewhere.
No. If it's Ohio, it's dead pets. That's what it is now. So, I'm sorry, Ohio.
Just dead pets. Just dead pets.
All right. Do you got any jokes for us today, Dave?
Oh yeah. Is it joke time already?
Oh yeah, it's joke time.
Oh, okay. I was wondering the other day, why are skeletons so calm? I mean, I'm seeing all these skeleton stuff come up for Halloween, and they always look so calm. Why are they so calm?
I don't know.
Well, I realized nothing gets under their skin.
Oh, okay. So here we go, and then I guess we're done because I think Deke already won. The first time I ever bought a universal remote control, I held it in my hands. I put the batteries in. It had a light. It glowed, and I looked at it. I held it up, and I thought, oh, God, this is going to change everything. All right, thanks for hanging out, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Rumble.com/internet dads.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her neck.